Why the fuck do I do this to myself? Today's entry into the Annals of Summer Reading Program is Let Them Eat Cake by Pamela and Danziger, subtitled Marketing Luxury to the Masses, as well as the Classes. Now, I don't have a background in marketing, or luxury, or class, or mass. So why? Why do I do this to myself? It really doesn't take me that long to remember why. I try to pick up a variety of different books, so that boring book 2 at least will not be a retread of the information in boring book 1, and in the optimistic hope that I'm going to find interesting new information in a new source. If you're going to be reading semi-voluntarily, you might as well be reading semi-voluntarily broadly. The major thesis of this book, introduced in the introduction, is that for people nowadays, luxury isn't so much about keeping up with the Joneses or having that fancy brand to prove how fancy and status symbol-y you are, but about purchasing the best possible experience. So that might be your cruise around the world as much as it is your fancy new laptop or your totally awesome Gucci I don't even know what luxury is. I'm doing this for $200. I'm doing this for the hope of $200. Yeah, so that makes total sense to me. It sounds like my own understanding of how I purchase things. I don't really need more stuff to put around my apartment, but like a trip to the theater or an experience I'm gonna cherish, yeah, I'll shell out a little extra for that. Then the book goes on to spend a lot of time proving that this is how luxury is viewed now, and sharing survey results on that subject for something that I was happy to accept as a truth via the introduction. Now, because I have no background in marketing, I really don't have enough context to tell you for certain if this is really, really out of date, but I suspect it's very out of date. And this clearly is meant for people with a background in marketing, as a chapter title opens with, as we all remember from our Marketing 101 classes, this book was published in 2005. And the furthest ahead in numbers that it gives its predictions for is 2010. So it's entirely possible that this was a big, huge change in 2005 and really needed to be hammered home. So maybe this is something that you have to unlearn. But I don't. And I don't actually want to read the charts and graphs. Like, if you really want this information broken down, yes, this will break down shit for you. This is full of weird definitions and categories of spenders and case studies and stuff like that. I kind of skimmed it. The author also predicts that millennials are going to be the next big luxury spenders, and that's basically not true of any use of the word millennials I've seen in the last 5 years, so yeah, I don't know if the predictions included in this book have survived the tests of time. And at least at some point we do move along from trying to prove the premise. And the author does talk about different ways people spend, different ways that experience itself can be marketed. I think it's probably useful if you're in marketing, if you're curious, or if you do need those myths busted. On the other hand, it really does make a person feel kind of creepy when you're reading a book that unironically has statements like, self-actualization through capitalism. This is really just a case of a book that is completely not for me. So not aimed at me. I think that's all the points I really want to cover. There's not a whole lot much more for someone who doesn't understand. So yeah, I don't think I really learned anything from this book, except that I feel very cheap and like I need to seriously reevaluate why I buy some of the higher-priced goods I buy, because nothing makes you more uncomfortable than the thought that you're falling right into someone's marketing trap, does it? Until next time. Was I even in focus for any of this?